so excited. I have the amazing opportunity to sit here with Miss Nakia Nunn, who came in and just unplugged all the unplugged of every part of the conference. Oh my goodness, can you please just tell us your experience as being a speaker here at the UNPLUG conference? How did you feel?
Yeah, amazing. Anytime I have an opportunity, I think to, get before people and share my heart, I just take it. And because it's LaShawn, I wouldn't miss this for the world. So I'm just honored that she asked me to be here, and I hope that the attendees could, felt my heart as I spoke it to them. So thank you for having me.
You are very welcome. So since we're already talking about LaShawn and how amazing she is, can you please just give her some words of encouragement? I mean, with this being her very first conference in such 5-star form, from the moment you get into the room, I'm sure she would love to hear like your thoughts on this. So give her some love. Let's see how can we pour into her? What would you say?
Yes, LaShawn she's a special person anyway, but I think my words of encouragement would be, to just kind of keep pushing. I mean, I know sometimes social media and how connected we are across these platforms can have you thinking that your first steps are not big enough. But
absolutely.
From the time, like you said, coming up the stair, out of the elevator into around where the food is, to just the amazing, camera and video setup that she has, it can only get much more amazing for her.
Okay, now before you leave us, can you please just let us know how we can get in touch with you, any of your social media platforms, like where can we find you, how can we find you?
Yeah, for sure. So my Instagram handle is Nakia Nunn _CEO, LinkedIn Nakia Nunn, and I think Facebook Nakia Nunn, so NEKEYA NUNN _CEO. Creator, entrepreneur, optimist. That's what it stands for.
Now that's good. Make your own words up there, huh? Thank you so much for being here. This is day 2. We are having a funky good time. So I'm sitting here with the most beautiful Astrid Johnson. Did I say that first name right?
You sure did.
Okay, thank you. We learned so much from her today. Her whole presentation was just absolutely amazing. And I want you to tell us how you felt as a speaker. Like, give us some of those things. What did you have going on in you?
Oh, I was just grateful to be here,
Absolutely.
to be invited to come here and speak on something I'm very passionate about, and that's employee relations. And making sure that we have the foundation to propel our organization to the next level by creating leaders in the organization other than supervisors, managers, and directors.
Absolutely.
People who just give information and don't lead. So that was my goal, is to just basically streamline that process when it comes to the ER process, and give the attendees here a peek inside what that would look like for them.
Absolutely. If that was your goal, you exceeded that expectation. You gave us so many great examples, so many stories that people could relate to. It was just absolutely amazing. Now talk to me about how you felt about just being an attendee. This is our very first UNPLUG business conference. How did that feel, just sitting there without presenting? How was that?
Without presenting, let me tell you, this conference was more than I expected it to be.
I'm exceeded. Yeah, that's good.
It was
That's good.
exceptional. The gems I learned from the different speakers, the values that I'm taking back to reorganize my life,
Absolutely.
and as well as reorganize my coworkers' lives, so that we can prepare our organization to the next level.
Yeah, I think it was just amazing how we were able to take this moment, right, to get out of our titles, get out of our everyday self, and be able to talk about what we need, because when you give out to so many people, you don't even think about you. And so like you just said, I have stuff for me that now I can take back to my coworkers, back to my team, and it's just gonna make the whole company just be a whole lot better.
So I am at my personal social media is at Astrid the Esquire, because I am a licensed attorney.
I meant to say that, but I didn't know if you wanted to give all your jewels out. But go ahead.
Yes, but my business page is at Astrid Johnson LLC.
Okay.
So I'm a whole LLC. I LLC myself.
Absolutely.
So my website is www.astridjohnsonllc.com.
Okay. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you for all your time and your wisdom. Thanks for being just so transparent and open. It was absolutely like contagious in the room. So just thank you for that.
Thank you.
Y'all, day 2 has been off the chain. So we had a phenomenal time with Miss Kimberly earlier today.
Yes.
You had a very hard topic, I felt, but you presented it so amazing when you were talking about conflict in the work area. Can you just give us a little bit about your speech, how it made you feel? I mean, give us that passion you kind of gave us for even that topic in the first place.
Yeah, so conflict is inevitable, but I thought this topic was important because conflict has taken on a new dimension because people are so polarized in how they feel, and to the extent that they don't even want to be persuaded to listen to anybody else.
That's true.
And so I thought this topic was important, especially for HR, because we've become the culture police. And while we're dealing with everything else, FMLA, payroll, benefits, now we have to also go be the referee.
Right.
And I thought it was just important to bring a different perspective about what's the root of conflict, potentially to find different solutions on how they resolve conflict with employees, with leaders, when what's happening in your organization really has an impact externally, and now you're also trying to address comments or conversations that are coming inside. And so just being able to deconstruct conflict in an attempt to reconstruct the culture and the values that your organization is really committed to.
Yeah, you did an amazing job just explaining and being able to look at things from another perspective. Sometimes in HR, we already go in with our eyes on what we're going to do, how we're
Follow
going
the
to do
policy.
it, policies and
Yep,
procedures.
follow the policy.
But now it just made us make an internal look at ourselves on how we're going to handle situations.
Absolutely.
So give me some words of how you felt as being an attendee. Like, how did you feel just being here in the conference period? How was that for you?
Yeah, so LaShawn and I had talked about, just in general, just the concept of unplug, how to disconnect. I call it alt control delete.
Okay.
But the other piece is we cannot pour from an empty cup. And as HR, especially over the past 2 years, we have had to give, and give, but who's giving into us? And so this was my opportunity to step away from some of the things I have responsibility for and hear from other people.
Right.
I'm in a leadership role. People are always looking to you. Being able to be on the other side of that seat and look to someone else for their wisdom, their guidance, how they overcame things that they're aspiring for. This helped me recharge my battery so I can be better when I get back into my regular environment.
That's what we wanted to hear, to make sure that
Yes.
just because you were speaking, but you still had a time to recharge,
Yes.
reset, see some things
Yes.
differently, so that did happen.
I wrote down a lot of things, and even when LaShawn posted yesterday, I wrote, I commented, these were my takeaways. And one of the most profound thing I heard yesterday, and I looked at it 2 ways, smooth seas don't make for skillful sailors. And not that we wish conflict and hard times, but that conflict and hard times really will make you a better leader, because it allows you to exercise those things that you are good at, but it also helps you create and develop those muscles that you don't necessarily have. That more than anything yesterday really impacted me to help me see things a little bit differently.
That's really good.
Yeah.
That's really good. So give LaShawn some words of encouragement. I mean, we had a great time here, but give her some words. What would you tell her moving forward?
There's a scripture, to whom much is given, much is required. And so when I think about her having this vision, I believe the vision to her was a gift. And so helping her understand that everybody starts somewhere, and this conference, the support is just the beginning, it's just the footprint, it becomes the anchor and the foundation. And so also be not weary in well doing. We know her heart is in the right place around what she's trying to do in support of HR leaders. So continue to stay motivated, but in those moments where you feel like I'm not sure, really tap into those of us who were here, who see your vision, so that we can help motivate you as well.
And keep pouring into her.
Absolutely,
She just keeps on
absolutely.
dreaming and having more visions.
Yes.
I can't wait to see it.
Yes.
So where can we find you on any social media platforms?
Yes, I am on LinkedIn, Kimberly D. Jones. You will find me under Talent Acquisition Superhero. I am also on Instagram under Kim the J. And then my company website is keltonlegend.com.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you.
Had a funky good time with you.
Yes, absolutely.
I wish y'all was here, but we'll talk about that a whole nother day, another time. We had a good time. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you.
Well, I get to sit down with one of the most extraordinary minds of our times. His name is JP. I call him JP, the detail man. He has such a professionalism, such a contagious spirit. I want you to talk to us. You do so many things, but talk to us about how you felt about being a speaker.
My God, I mean, it's just amazing, right? From day one, which was yesterday.
Yeah.
You know, not just the organization, but the atmosphere, right? You feel the people. There's an energy in the room, which is amazing, right?
Yeah.
And once everything started, I mean, you know, God ordained this thing to take place,
Yep,
right?
absolutely.
And I pray that this is a yearly thing. But every single speaker brought something unique to them, to the table. And I'm learning from everyone.
Yeah.
When they say that networking is truly the new currency, well, it's at these places, at these events that you realize that you have to be in the room to understand what truly happened. Even if you get the replay, which is a great value, but if you were not in the room, there's some things you cannot tap into,
There's some nuggets
right?
that we just can't explain. Like, you just really had to be there in the time, in the moment. And I just think it was absolutely amazing. Can you please give LaShawn some encouraging words? And I really want you to say that one part again, that this will become a yearly event. I want to keep speaking that. What would you tell LaShawn?
Well, I'll tell LaShawn, congratulations, right?
Yes.
For a phenomenal first event, right?
Yes.
I call it a global conference. Yeah, because the vision, right? The vision is where everything is laying at.
Right.
You don't unveil the vision or the entirety of the vision day one,
Right.
or the first time. There's a part of it that people know, but the full scope of it, most people don't realize.
Absolutely.
So I'm going to tell you, LaShawn, this is something that's needed.
It is.
Right? People need to unplug. People need to step away and recharge. I put on my certificate of graduation right from the conference that I unplugged to reboot. We need spaces like this. All conferences do not offer us the ability to unplug, right?
true.
Some other conferences like seminars where you go to learn. No, here you go to network, you go to reboot, you go to recharge and go back so we can give and pour more into people. So I'm going to tell you, LaShawn, thank you for this first event.
Yes.
And we pray that God empowers you for more. We want more of this. We want this yearly because people around the world will be tapping into this. And I am humble and excited that my company, Perfect Zone Productions, was, part of this amazing establishment where we were able to help bring this vision to life for the first edition.
Like the grassroots of it. That's
Exactly.
what makes it so amazing to be a part of something at the very beginning. So in the next 2-3 years, we can say, oh yeah, we were in the one in Georgia, now we're going to the one in Switzerland. You know what I mean? So that's going to be really good. Now, where can we find you on social media? We can get in touch with you where? How can we do that?
Absolutely. I'm pretty much my home is my website, of course, jphightech.com, but the same name, JPHIGHTEK, you find that everywhere. So LinkedIn, Instagram, Facebook, is the same, name, and connect with me on LinkedIn, right? Because that's where some professionals are.
Right.
And what we're talking about, being with other professionals. I know we have Instagram and Facebook taking pictures, but find us there as well. But yeah, you can connect me with me anytime. You can also write to me or book a free consultation, only offering for the folks that are getting the replay of this conference or came in here. I'm offering them a free 30-minute consultation with me, right? Just for UNPLUG 2022.
Wow.
So unless
that is amazing. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all want to take advantage of the 30-minute consultation. He's gifted in this. He knows how to talk to you and to brand you, rebrand you, give you suggestions based on what it is you've been called to do. 30 minutes is going to change your life. And I'm not just saying that because I'm sitting next to him. I'm saying it because it is true. He is gifted, he is passionate, and he is just, he's the guy for the job.
Appreciate that.
I appreciate you.
That. Hey, thank you so much. You are an amazing MC. I'm going to let you know.
Well, thank you.
Her energy was spectacular.
Thank you.
You guys will see it in the replay, but it was better. If you love the replay, the video, it was better in the room. So congratulations.
I appreciate
Thank
it.
you so much.
Thank you. Thank
right.
y'all. And it's been amazing. Sitting here with Cree, who is absolutely hilarious, and she's so much fun, but on top of that, she's very calming. your declarations and your affirmations were just right on time. Talk to me about how you came up with what to say for this event. Like, how did you know that those particular or did you know that those particular affirmations were going to speak so much life into the people that were here? How did you do that?
Honestly, I was given some, but I looked up some as well, and I think it was a perfect timing of God, because sometimes I went with an affirmation that I had previously wrote, and I didn't think that it was going to be the time, but it was that time. So I just really went with the Holy Spirit on this. Yeah, so each time was different according to the situation.
Yeah, the whole conference seemed to just flow.
It flowed.
I mean, from the speakers to all of the things that were already in place. So I want you to give me some insight on how you felt about being an attendee as you were sitting here. What did you gain from that? Talk to me about that.
Yeah, so I definitely gained life, and I definitely gained perspective on how to treat people, but not only that, treat myself. So I love how Miss Edna talked about health and building, wellness, and how Jasmine talked about resting, right? Because sleep is not necessarily resting.
Absolutely.
And so I learned that just to take home for myself as a business owner, CFO, and as a mom, to just rest. So this was an unplug event.
Yes.
It was.
And that was the goal, for people to be able to come into a safe place, right? Be able to get their guards down, and be able to get some information downloaded into them that'll help them first personally, and then all the other things that we pour out into. If you could please just give LaShawn some words of encouragement, what would you tell her about this conference?
I would definitely tell her to not stop and to keep going, because probably someone else has said it, but this is definitely not a moment. It is a movement, and I think HR needs to be recognized, and they need to unplug from that day-to-day life, because you do deal with a lot of things. HR people deal with a lot, and they need a space like this to be free to voice their opinions and to talk about how they feel and not be judged. So I think I encourage her to keep going and never ever stop.
Never. You heard that, LaShawn?
This is a legacy.
Ever stop.
It's a legacy.
So where can we find you on social media platforms? Because you also, I want to throw that in there, you gave a lot of information on finances. It was heavy, honey. People was looking at you like, I've never heard none of those words before, but you just kept presenting and you kept explaining it. So is that what you do full time with the finances, or just give me a little bit about that?
Okay, so being a CFO of our company, my husband and I, Perfect Zone Production, I do dive deep into that with my ministry called Matchlight Ministries.
Okay.
So we do educate people on how to live a kingdom mindset when it comes to finance.
Gotcha.
So we will be having a course coming out, Jireh Finance Academy.
Oh, that's gonna be good.
Yes, and so Jehovah Jireh is our provider.
Yes, he is, child. Don't start. Don't start, Creek. Go ahead.
So definitely you'll learn more about how to steward your finances in a godly way.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
And you're on Instagram. Where can
I am on
you?
Instagram, Matchlight Ministries, on matchlightpod8.com. I have a podcast that I also talk about a lot of things. And Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, same handle, Matchlight Ministries.
Got you.
Yes.
Thank you so much for being here.
Yeah,
You're absolutely
thank you.
amazing. Everything was really cool. We're wrapping up day 2, and it was just amazing.
Thanks, y'all.